The alien quietly descends the steps into the basement, searching for signs of life. Evelyn runs upstairs. The alien assaults it when the timer goes off. In the front yard, she notices another extraterrestrial. Evelyn enters the bathroom and sinks into the tub. As the alien enters the room, she begins to give birth. Lee has arrived home and is shocked to discover that the red lights have been turned on. He writes "rocket" for his son. Then he tells him, "I need you to make a louder sound." Marcus races to a preset spot and ignites a fuse, setting off a sequence of fireworks. Lee takes his shotgun. Lee investigates the home and enters the bathroom, where he discovers an empty bathtub stained with his wife's blood. He begins to cry, fearing Evelyn is dead, only to discover that she is alive and well, hiding in the shower with their new baby son. Meanwhile, Marcus is going back toward his house when he hears an extraterrestrial. He makes a break for it towards the cornfield, but he collides with a tractor wheel, knocking himself out. Reagan has arrived home and observes Marcus' torch beam emerging from the cornfield, but she cannot hear the alien approaching behind her. As the alien gets closer, Reagan's cochlear implant processor begins to produce high-pitched feedback, which irritates the alien and causes it to flee. When Reagan discovers Marcus, they escape to the top of the grain silo. Lee has brought Evelyn down to the cellar and deposited his new son in the soundproof cot. Evelyn thinks about Beau and regrets not carrying him on that fatal day. Then, before falling asleep, has Lee vow to safeguard their children. As we witness water gushing down into the cellar, Lee departs to hunt for the kids. Evelyn awakens later to find the cellar flooded. On top of that, an extraterrestrial has descended into the room, and the infant is asleep in the soundproof crib with the top open. Evelyn delicately takes up her infant and slinks to the cellar's rear wall, beneath the waterfall that floods the chamber. A hatch on the top of the silo suddenly cracks, sending Marcus to plunge inside. The alien in the cellar with Evelyn is attracted out by the commotion as he slowly drowns in the grain. The hatch disintegrates fully and crashes into the silo, just missing Marcus. Reagan goes into the silo and saves her brother by pushing the hatch towards him so he can get hold of it. She, on the other hand, soon sinks into the grain. Marcus scales the hatch and brings his sister to safety. Reagan and Marcus are both securely seated on the silo entrance when they hear a crash. As the youngsters hide themselves with the hatch door, the alien from the flooded cellar jumps into the silo. They appear to be doomed until Reagan's cochlear implant processor emits searing feedback, prompting the alien to fall through the silo's side. Reagan and Marcus make their way from the silo to a pickup vehicle. Lee arrives and gets an axe, but is swiftly assaulted by the alien, causing Marcus to scream. When the alien hears this, he rushes to the vehicle and begins ripping it apart. When Reagan's processor begins to emit piercing feedback, she shuts it off. The alien may now safely renew its assault on the vehicle. Lee, who is severely hurt, looks at his daughter and signs, "I love you. I've always loved you." He then yells to sacrifice himself in order to save the children. They shift the truck into neutral and return to the house to reconcile with their mother. When Evelyn and the kids hear the alien approaching, they rush back inside and down to the basement. Reagan, who was never permitted down there, sees, for the first time, the proof of her father's efforts in repairing and building her cochlear implant processor. She is overcome with emotion as the lights start to flicker. The alien enters the basement and surrounds them. Reagan, on the other hand, studies a scribbled scribble from her father that reads, "What is their weakness?" before taking a short peek at the hearing aids on his workstation. She activates her cochlear implant processor, which generates feedback and causes the alien to shiver. The feedback is then amplified by Reagan by bringing the processor up to a microphone. Evelyn grabs Lee's shotgun and smashes the alien's skull to shreds as it collapses and slowly staggers back to its feet. When they observe on the security monitors that their small squabble has seemingly drawn every alien in the county to their house, Reagan cranks up the music and Evelyn pumps the shotgun with a sardonic smirk on her face.